We are now, oops, we are now on week 6. And this week we are just doing factoring trinomials using diamond problem. I've tried to find videos on this, but I've only seen videos where it shows part of it. So this is my video using straight diamonds. You don't have to go any further from using diamonds. If you like different methods, go ahead and use different methods, but I find that diamonds, this is the one method I use all the time in class. It works for what we need to do. If the diamond doesn't work, then we have to use quadratic formula, which we will get into in 2 weeks. Okay, but factoring, if you did last week's lesson on diamonds, makes this one very, very easy. Okay, there's only 3 steps. Take out the GCF, put the information into a diamond and simplify it, and put it into a parentheses. Okay, and if we look at it, so we're going to take out the GCF. We want to do a diamond. And with diamonds, we're going to get ax squared plus bx plus c. We're going to put a times c up here. B's down here. And if you remember in diamonds, we're trying to find numbers, 2 numbers, that multiply to get you the top number, but add up to the bottom number. That's your first step. And when we simplify it, we're going to then take the ax, put it on top, and we reduce it if we can, and we put it in here. I know that doesn't make sense just yet, but we are going to go over it. Okay, so let's look at the first one. So if we look at our first one, we can see that they both have an x, so we need to take out a GCF. And if you remember last week, what I had you guys do was go like this, circle what they had in common. 1 times 5, we can put it back in. There is no x squared. That's our answer. Now for today, we can see in number 2, they both have a p. So all I'm going to do is take out 1p. So instead of p squared now, it's just 1p. I'm going to take out the p in the second part, and that's your answer. There is no p squared, so we do not have to go to the diamond. Let's try the next one. There we go. All right. So this one, they have no GCF. Smallest number is 1, so we can't divide by 1. What I'm going to do is A is 1. That's your first number. Your B is negative 17. C is your 60. Remember, it's always going to be ax squared plus bx plus c. Whatever's next to the ax squared is a, whatever's next to the bx is b, and one that doesn't have an x is c. Then we're going to draw the diamond. So 1 times 60 goes on top. B goes on the bottom. So what multiplies to give you 60, but adds up to negative 17? And you know me, I like going over as much the easiest way possible. So 60 has so many different numbers. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to go 1 times 60. 2, what are the multiples of 60? And I always go in order from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have a calculator out if you need to. 60 divided by 2 is 30. 60 divided by 3 is 20. 60 divided by 4 is 15. 60 divided by 5 is 12. 60 divided by 6 is 10. And if we go 60 divided by 7, 60 divided by 8, 9, it doesn't work. So once we get 2 numbers that are close enough together, oops, and I don't know why that erased, then we can stop right there. Okay, I don't know what's up with my computer today. Sorry, you guys. This is negative 17. So negative 17. So we know in order for it to multiply to get to a positive number, both numbers need to be negative. And we need to figure out which one of these numbers add up to 17. Definitely not 1 and 60. 3 plus 20 is 23. 4 plus 15, that's 19. We're getting close. 5 plus 12 is 17. So negative 5 and negative 12. Now, we're going to take this b, and if there's a number in front of it, which we will get to later, we're also going to take that one. And you know me, my b's always look like 6's, so I have to do capital. You can put a 1 in there if you want. I cannot reduce these, okay? I cannot reduce the two side numbers. And I'll show you that in a little bit too. So what I'm going to do is I'm reading it from top to bottom on the side. So 5 minus, b minus 5, sorry. And that's going to go in my parentheses. B minus 12 goes in my next one. And that is your answer. Okay, let's try another one of those, and then we'll go on to GCFs. And then we'll go on to numbers that are bigger in front. So very first thing, A is 1, B is negative 7, C is 12. Draw your diamond, or your X, whatever if you want to call it. A times C is 12, negative 7. And I like to go on the side. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. And once I get to two numbers that are very close to each other, I can stop. I'm going to stop right there because I don't want to repeat. And go in order makes it much, much easier in the long run. So again, just like the previous one, the bottom is negative, the top is positive. So what two numbers multiply to give you 12, but add up to negative 17? And we know they have to be negative. And if you look at the numbers on the side, has to be 3 and 4. Then we're going to take that X, put it on top, read it from top to bottom. So X minus 3, X minus 4. And that's your answer. Not too bad, right? Not too hard. Now, we go to the next ones. And I may not do every single problem on this one, but you guys can always practice more. All right, so now our smallest number is 3. Can I divide every single one of those numbers by 3? Then I can. That's your GCF, your greatest common number. So I'm just going to divide everything by 3. I can't do n because not all the numbers have an n. So I'm just going to go n squared. You don't have to have a 1. You can just have n squared. There. And now go ahead and do the diamond. Forget about the 3 until the very, very end. So A is 1, B is 11, C is negative 12. So A times C, B is here. So what multiplies to give you 12 but adds up to 11? So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and we stop there. Now, multiplies to 12. That means that one of them is going to be negative and one's going to be positive. So we have to subtract it to give you 11. And the only one I can see if we subtract it is 12 and 1. But does that mean it's 1 minus 12 gives me a positive 11? Or is it negative 1 plus 12 gives me 11? And it is the second one. So negative 1 and 12. You could have also done 12 minus 1. Doesn't matter which one you put on the sides. Then we're going to put these. I'm not going to put the 1 because it's automatic. And read it from top to bottom. So we're going to get n minus 1, n plus 12. Take your GCF and just put it back in front. That's it. You take it out, leave it until the very end. Okay, let's go on to the next page, last page. So, next one, bigger numbers, right? But we're going to do the same thing. So, this one, our smallest number is 10, but I can't divide all of these numbers by 10. I can't divide 65 by 10, but I can divide them all by 5. So, I'm going to take out my GCF of 5. So, divide everything by 5. And you're going to notice right away our A is not 1 this time. It's going to be another number. And that will make it a little bit different. If we were in the class, we would be doing this one very, very different. We'd be taking a lot more time, and usually factoring would take a whole week. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so my A is 2. And just get in the habit of writing A, B, and C underneath, because this will help you when you get to quadratic formula, which is in 2 weeks. We'll do discriminant next week, and you still would want to know A, B, and C. Okay. A times C, and your B goes on the bottom. So it multiplies to positive 36, adds up to negative 13. So go to the side, 36. 1 times 36. And if you want your calculator, 36 divided by 2 is 18. So 2 and 18. 36 divided by 3. Then 36 divided by 4 is 9. 36 divided by 5 doesn't work, gives you a decimal. So we don't want to write it if it is a decimal. So 6 times 6. Because this is a negative on the bottom and positive up here, we know both of them are going to be negative. So which ones of these will add up to be negative 13? So 4 and 9. Now, this time, our A is a bigger number, so it's 2n. We're going to put it here, 2n. And then we're going to see if we can reduce. So if you look at it, the 2n over negative 9, we can't reduce. It's going to stay like that. But I can divide these by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Read it from top to bottom. N minus 2. 2n minus 9. Put in the GCF back again. And you have it. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Don't know why that went there. And that's your answer. Sorry, guys. Trash day at my house. So you can hear some of the garbage trucks going around. I'm trying to get away from the louder of the noises. All right, let's try the next one. So here, 15 is our smallest. Can't divide 35 by 15, but I know I can divide them all by 5. And we do want to do GCFs because who really wants to get what adds up to 110 and multiplies to 35 times 15? I don't want to do that. I try to do the easiest way possible. Whoops, too many letters. Don't know why I put a P there. You guys know I do that in the classroom. Plus 110 divided by 5. And 15 divided by 3. Now this is so much easier. Much easier. So A is 7. B is 22. And our C is 3. Do our diamond. A times C. So 7 times 3 is 21, which adds up to 22. So which numbers multiply to 21 but add up to 22? And most of you should see that first one. I can stop right there. 1 plus 21. And now we're going to take that 7v, or ax. It's one of those days. You say something, you write it. Wrong thing. 7 over 1 can't be reduced. But 7 over 21, I can divide both of those numbers by 7 and get a smaller number. Oops. I touched the wrong thing. Sorry, guys. So 7v plus 1 and v plus 3. Take your GCF, put it in the front. Okay. Hopefully you guys are getting this idea. I know it's a lot, so pause it, review it, try some notes. Okay. Let's go over this last two. So if you look at number 11, there's something missing, right? The middle number. So what we're going to do is put a 0 right there. It's just a whole placeholder. And what we want to do is we're going to divide. To take out the GCF, sorry. So this one, can't divide them all by 80, can't divide them all by 10. I can divide by 5. So 5 goes into 12 2 times. 5p squared. I'm just going to leave the 0p right there. And it's going to be 16. Now we get our numbers. And definitely is going to be a bigger number. But it makes it a lot easier. And whoops. Trying to get to that. So our middle, our A is 25. Our B is 0. Ooh, there it is. And our C is negative 16. So bottom number is going to be 0. Top, you definitely want to get out a calculator. So 25 times 16. Sorry, I'm moving my computer around. Does it? So I'm going to get negative 400. Now, the nice thing when it's 0 on the bottom, the two side numbers, one's going to be negative, one's going to be positive, and they're both going to be the exact same number. Now, 400, I know that one is going to be 20 times 20. What number times itself gives you 400? So 20 times 20. Bring in that 25p and reduce. Now, if you notice, they're both going to be the same number, but one's going to be positive and one's going to be negative. I can divide them both by 5. So 25 divided by 5, 20 divided by 5, and do the same thing, but this time, this one is going to be a negative. Read it from top to bottom on the sides. So 5p minus 4 and 5p plus 4. Doesn't matter which one goes first, the plus or the minus, and bring in your GCF. That's your answer. And that's what you guys are going to do. So I definitely practice this, review the video, and make sure you guys get this, okay? It is factoring, one of my favorites to do. And you send me an email if you guys need some help on it. You remember my office hours, look at my Google Classroom.